France haven't quite held on to win here, but England threw pretty much everything at them. And France are the winners of the 2022 championship. They've won a Grand Slam. They felt they left one behind them 2 years ago. Tears in the eyes of Antoine Dupont. Brilliant scenes at the Stade de France. And without a doubt, they are the best team in the championship this year. We're just too strong for Ireland. Little wobble last week, maybe against Wales. And again, too strong for England today.
And you always felt like England did make a good game of it. Their plan was good. They executed it quite well. But you always felt like tonight France had another gear. And they did. And they just kept England at bay.
Yeah, England came back several times. France holding out to win 25 points to 13. Controlled enough in the end. They would have been a little worried maybe around the 65, 70-minute mark. But the nerves never got on top of them. They battled away. The best performance of the championship, maybe. They'll be satisfied enough. Winning a test match here against England is always big for the French, but winning one to win a Grand Slam, their first Grand Slam since 2010. Fabien Galthié has led them as coach. He won 3 as a player. One of those was under the coaching of Bernard Laporte, who you saw in the crowd. It's almost a sense of relief, Darren, for the French.
Yeah, you can see how much it means to them. You can see how much it means to the crowd as well. Antoine Dupont, tears. And they've been worthy winners, as we've said. Ireland didn't do a lot wrong in this championship, played some really good rugby. And the worthy winners of this year's Six Nations.
Well, Ben Young is congratulating Antoine Dupont. Really are party scenes here. Too many smiles on the English faces. England gave France a really, really good match here.
Yeah, I think, you know, from a French point of view, they played well when they needed to play well. Those other times it didn't go well for them, and they just did enough. They weren't great in Cardiff, but they did enough. They weren't great tonight, but they did enough. They played well against Ireland. They were spectacular against Scotland. We saw what France can do. And they're going to be a really, really tough team to beat at this Rugby World Cup in France next year. It's really exciting for rugby, potentially to go into a World Cup where New Zealand may not be the favourites.
Yeah, France's big win in November over New Zealand stood to them. It's a good win of winning matches now. Lost on the tour in Australia 2-1 last July, but they blooded an awful lot of players on that trip as well. Rested some of their big stars. Still performed well in Australia. They've plenty of depth in the squad now, plenty of cover in all positions.